The day Monica was born, her mother un-alife, and people said she was a cursed child. How can a child enter this world? And her mother left immediately, but her father, Obama, a poor farmer in Jericho, lifted the baby gently and said, "She didn't un-alife her mother. She is my wife's last gift to me." From that day, he started taking care of Monica. Obama had no wife to cook, no one to watch the baby while he went to the farm, so every morning, he would tie little Monica on his back with an old wrapper and carry her to the farm. The villagers laughed at him. Look at a man carrying baby like a woman. But he never replied. He farmed under the hot sun with Monica tied to his back. And when she cried, he would stop planting to feed her water from a small spoon. Years passed, and the baby who once cried in his arms began to walk beside him, her tiny hands carrying a small hoe. Obama smiled every time he saw her digging beside him. "Monica, one day this farm will be yours," he would say, and she would laugh. "No, Papa, we will farm it together forever." As Monica grew, she became the talk of the village again, but this time, not for sorrow. She was hardworking, respectful, and beautiful. Her skin glowed like ripe cocoa under the sun. Her smile could soften even the angriest heart. Every morning, before the village cock crowed, people would already see her walking beside her father to the farm, with a basket on her head and joy in her steps. Some days, when Obama's bones ached, Monica did all the work alone. She planted yams, harvested cassava, and even sold vegetables at the market to buy her father medicine. One afternoon, a group of village boys passed by the farm. They stopped to admire her. "Monica, you work like 10 men." One said, "Look at her, she's more beautiful than the chief's daughter. Yet she works very hard in her father's farm." Another added. From that day, the village boys began to visit the farm pretending to buy vegetables, just to see her smile, but Monica wasn't moved. She would laugh politely and go back to work. Her father noticed and warned her one evening, "My daughter, beauty is nothing if your heart forgets where it came from. Keep your eyes on your hoe, not on the faces of boys." She nodded. "Yes, Papa. I only want to make you proud." After Monica's name spread across the village, many young men came with their families to ask for her hand in marriage. They came with goats, yams, palm wine, baskets of fruits, and praising her beauty. But Monica politely refused them all. "Papa," she would say, "I am not ready to leave you alone." "My daughter," Obama would smile, "you will marry one day. But don't rush, love is not a race." Some of the boys got angry. "Who does she think she is? She is just a farmer's daughter. Let her wait, she will grow old on that farm." But Monica didn't care. She found peace in her simple life, farming with her father, selling vegetables in the market, and helping widows around the village. She believed true love would find her at the right time. One bright afternoon, as she was returning from the farm, a black car stopped beside her on the dusty road. It was something she had never seen in real life, shiny, big, and strange. The window rolled down, and a man's voice said, "Excuse me, are you from this village?" She looked up. The man was well dressed and he smiled kindly. "Yes," she said, "I am from this village. My name is Raghav," he replied. "I came from the city to see my uncle. You look hardworking." She laughed nervously, trying to hide her rough hands. "I was just coming from the farm." He smiled again, a smile that made her heart beat faster than she expected. From that day, Raghav began to visit the village more often. He would stop by the farm with bottled drinks, biscuits, and gifts for Monica's father. He helped Obama fix the leaking roof and even bought new hoes and cutlasses for them. Obama was impressed. A rich man who doesn't mind touching the soil. That's rare. Slowly, Monica and Raghav became friends. They would talk for hours under the mango tree after farm work. He told her stories about the city, the tall buildings, bright lights, and roads that never slept. Monica would listen with wide eyes, dreaming of what life outside the village might look like. Months later, Raghav knelt before her father with palm wine and gifts. "Sir, I love your daughter. I want to take her as my wife." Obama looked at Monica, who stood quietly with tears of joy in her eyes. "My daughter," he said softly, "do you love him?" "Yes, Papa. He is kind to you and to me." Obama sighed and nodded. "Then may God guide you both." Never forget where you come from. The wedding was the talk of the entire village. People danced, drums beat loudly, and even those who once mocked Obama now praised him. See the farmer's daughter. She's marrying a rich man from the city. After the wedding, Monica hugged her father tightly. Papa, I will visit often. I promise. He smiled weakly, hiding the tears in his eyes. Go and shine, my flower. But don't let the city dust cover your heart. The city was everything she imagined and more: tall buildings, noisy streets, cars everywhere. At first, she felt lost. But Raghav made her feel safe. He rented a big house, bought her fine clothes, and introduced her to his friends as my village queen. She felt blessed, but 4 years later, everything changed. No child, not even a single pregnancy. Raghav was patient. He would say, "Don't worry, love. God's time is the best." But his mother, Madame Felicia, was not patient. She was a strong city woman, proud, loud, and full of gossip. One morning, she came to their house unannounced. She looked around the sitting room and said, "Beautiful house, but too quiet. No sound of children." Monica smiled nervously. "Mama, God will do it." Felicia hissed, "Are you sure you didn't leave your womb in that your village farm?" Monica's heart broke instantly. Tears filled her eyes, but she stayed silent out of respect. The mother-in-law started coming often, sometimes with Raghav's sisters, Alice and Samantha. They would whisper, laugh, and insult her indirectly. Some women are only good at planting cassava, not children. City life is not for everyone. Our brother should have married someone from a better family. Monica heard it all. Every night, she cried quietly on her pillow. Raghav noticed her sadness and held her close to him. His mother began poisoning his mind with words. "You are wasting your time. Look at your mates all with children. This woman is barren." He defended her and warned his mom and sisters to stay off his family. By morning, Monica called her father on the phone and told him everything she was passing through in her husband's house. Then Obama asked his daughter to come back to the village. A few days later, Monica packed her bag and left to her father's house. When Obama saw her at the door, thin and weak, his heart broke. "My daughter, what happened?" She fell to her knees and wept. "Papa, they said I'm barren." Obama lifted her up and hugged her tightly. "Don't cry, my child. The same people who mock you today will bow to your story tomorrow. A tree that doesn't bear fruit immediately is not dead, it's still growing its roots." The night Monica returned to her father's house, the whole village whispered again, just like they did when she was born. They called her the woman who came back from the city without a child. Monica didn't care. But she couldn't eat or sleep well. Obama saw how broken she had become, and how her laughter had disappeared like dry leaves in the wind. By morning, he entered her room quietly and said, "My daughter, I can't watch you fade away like this. You've suffered enough. We must find out what is wrong." Monica shook her head. "Papa, the doctors said nothing is wrong with me. My husband tested too. They said we are both fine." Obama sighed and said, "Then maybe what is wrong cannot be seen with the eyes. Some sicknesses live in the spirit, not in the body. So tomorrow, we will go and see native doctor in the nearby community." Monica didn't argue. She was tired of crying, and tired of being called barren. The next day, they left early in the morning, and walked through the narrow bush paths until they reached a small hut in the forest. Inside the hut, the native man sat cross-legged beside a small pot of fire. He looked at Monica, smiled sadly and said, "The wind of sorrow has been blowing around you for long, my child." "Yes, father. I have been married for years, but I cannot have a child," Monica said. The man nodded slowly, and spoke in a voice that sent chills down their spines. "Your womb is tied not by man but by your own hands." "How? What did I do, please?" she asked. The native man continued, "Years ago, when you were still a young girl, your anger controlled you, and you buried a mother hen and the chicks alive in the farm. Because they scattered your work, you thought it's nothing but the spirit of life remembers. You buried life with anger, and now life refuses to grow inside you. Monica gasped, her hands shaking and memories rushed back. She was 13 years, tired from walking under the sun. The mother hen and the chick scratched her young mounts. She angrily caught them and buried them in the soil, ignoring their cries, even laughed at them, thinking it was a small act. When you buried that hen alive, you buried motherhood itself. And your womb heard the cry of the creature you silenced. Please, I was a child and I did not know it's bad, Monica cried out. The native man's voice softened. The earth knows no child and the spirit knows no excuses. What is done is done. Obama dropped his walking stick, his voice shaking. Wise one, what can we do to make things right? The old man said, she must honor what she buried with anger, by returning life with dignity. So you must go back to the place where you buried that hen. Dig up the soil, give the hen and her chicks a proper burial, as you would for a human life. On that day, you will cook, sing and dance for the spirits of the farm, holding live chickens in your hands and free them after dancing. Then bury the soil you got from the place you buried the hen before, only then will your womb open again. The journey back home was silent. Monica couldn't stop crying. Her father held her hand the whole way. Papa, she said weakly, I never knew that one moment of foolishness could destroy my future. My daughter, he replied, when a tree falls, it crushes even the smallest ants around it. But when you stand it back up, new roots can grow. The next morning, the villagers gathered curiously. When they saw Obama and Monica dancing with Mother Hen in front of their hut, Monica began to weep uncontrollably. She fell on her knees. Forgive me, Mother Hen. Forgive me, little chicks. I buried you with anger. I was young and foolish. Please, I did know what I was doing. I return you with peace. Please forgive me. Let life come back to me. She used her bare hands to gather the tiny bones and soil carefully, placing them inside the small hole she dug. Her tears dropped on them like rain. Obama stood behind her, praying softly, God of mercy, let her heart find peace. They buried the bones again, this time with respect. They placed palm fronds and white chalk over the spot, then poured fresh water as a symbol of cleansing. That night, after everyone left, Monica sat beside her father under the moonlight. Papa, she whispered, do you think I will ever have a child? I don't just think, he said with tears in his eyes, I know. You have made peace with the earth. Now the earth will return peace to your womb, and you will have your own children, my daughter. By morning, Monica went back to the city. When she reached her husband, Raghav, hugged her tightly. I missed you, my wife, he said softly. Please don't ever leave me again. The home that once echoed with silence and pain was now filled with laughter again. Felicia and her daughters already left the house before she returned. Just a month, Monica had started feeling strange dizziness in the mornings, tiredness during chores, and an unusual craving for roasted corn. At first, she thought it was nothing. But when her husband noticed her sleeping more often and complaining of nausea, he smiled and said, My love, I think you should visit the hospital. She laughed shyly. Maybe I'm just tired, but Raghav insisted, when the nurse came out with her result. Monica's hands shook as she collected the paper. Congratulations, madam, she said. You're pregnant. For a moment, Monica froze. Then her eyes widened, and tears began to roll down her cheeks. When she told Raghav, he screamed and lifted her off the ground. Finally, my love, that night, he knelt beside her and they prayed together, thanking God for mercy. Raghav treated her like a queen. He did all the housework, cooked her meals, and even massaged her legs when they swelled. He would often whisper, I want you to rest, Monica. You have suffered enough. Now it's time to smile. Even the neighbors noticed the change. Monica glowed like sunlight. When her father heard the news back in the village, he wept like a child. My daughter's womb has opened, he said joyfully. The curse is broken. 9 months later, Monica went into labor. The doctors rushed her into the delivery room. Raghav waited outside, pacing, praying and crying. After what felt like forever, the doctor came out smiling. Congratulations, sir, he said. Your wife has given birth to 3 beautiful babies, 2 girls and 1 boy. Raghav fell to his knees. 3. He shouted in shock and happiness. When he entered the room, Monica was lying weak but smiling. Beside her were 3 tiny beautiful babies. "You did it, my love," he whispered. "You gave me angels." Monica's mother-in-law rushed to the city. Her eyes were filled with tears and shame. "My daughter," she said, "forgive me. I called you barren and mocked you. I am sorry. Please, forgive me." Monica, with tears in her eyes, "Mama, it's in the past now. God has turned our tears into joy." Even her sisters-in-law who once insulted her came with gifts and apologies. The whole family danced, laughed, and sang songs of thanksgiving. Monica, her husband and their babies lived happily after all. Moral lesson: respect all forms of life no matter how small it is, for what we give to the earth always returns to us. Question for you: have you ever done something with anger thinking it's nothing, only to realize later that it had greater consequences?